Hey everyone, this is WobblyWallaby. Today I'm going to show MVP hunting using the Taekwon auto attack build. If you want to know some tips and tricks when doing MVP hunting with Taekwon, as well as the pros and cons, keep watching. For a detailed guide for my build, please see my previous video on Taekwon's auto attack build. The link will be in the description. This video will focus more on the MVP hunt experience so you can understand what skills to use and when to use them. First is my character setup. Before I do MVP hunting, I will eat 6 anti-death foods, since Taekwons can easily die from the Cosmic Fusion skill. By default, you will die if you have 20% health or lower. Advanced runes can help you by lowering the HP limit for dying. All of this is worth it because Cosmic Fusion gives you a lot of damage and gives you lifesteal when using the auto attack weapon. I also have Goro and the Osiris pet to help me revive too. For meals, I eat the Strength B, Agi B, and Luck B for more damage. For gear, a quick overview is shown here. Compared to my auto attack build video, I had swapped in the Galleon card for accessories since I hunt a lot of water monsters. Also, I use the Orc Hero card to prevent being stunned since I hunt for Poi Tai. The weapon is amazing since it has lifesteal when using Cosmic Fusion. During the run, you'll sometimes see my HP go up and down because of the lifesteal. It helps a lot for survivability, especially if you're trying to solo MVPs. For shoes, I use the Time Holder star card. I chose not to use the Moonlight Flower star card or the Edga star card because most people wouldn't have this. I think Time Holder is more realistic. I personally would use the Edga star card since having the Endure effect will help a lot with dealing with the hit stun. I also eat a slow attack alloy for plus 100 attack. Next, here are my stats. I have 32,000 attack. I also have 480% attack speed. I have 382 strength, 265 luck, and 318 agility. My physical penetration is at 96.5%. My critical is at 164. My skill damage increase is at 25%. My physical attack is at 187.5%. My physical damage increase is at 88.5%. And my ignore defense is at 193.5%. For Relic, I'm using the Elf's Piccolo, which gives 170.8 attack and 10% penetration. For Oracle Mirror, I use the plus 15 combustible knife for 20% more penetration. Next, from my Adventure Handbook, I have 3,575 attack and 66% attack deposit. Next, for Advanced Ruins. At the top, I have the Comfort of the Sun and Moon Rune with 2.5 seconds longer duration. The third line will give you the Endure effect while using this skill. Next, I have the Vientian Starfall Rune with 18.3% more damage with the second line from more stars falling. Next, I have the Star Retrograde Rune with the third line to help me regain my health. Next, I have the Roundhouse Kick Rune for 17.3% more damage. Next, I have the Auto Attack Rune, where the third line is mandatory since it removes the kick animation. If you don't have this rune, do not play this build. Finally, I have the Come On Rune for more auto attack damage. Next, I'll do MVP hunting. I'll skip some of the loading so you can get the complete run. I also show my failures so you get a better idea of how Taekwon actually is. If I just showed all the times where I'm able to kill things very quickly, I don't think people will get the right idea of how good this class is. It's definitely not so overpowered that you can kill everything and you never have any problems. This provides a more honest review of this MVP hunting experience for Taekwon. One awful thing about this build is the stars that you lit up will go away when you change maps, so you need to recharge them by doing roundhouse kicks and place again. or you can attack monsters to charge it up as well. This is super frustrating when changing maps, because you have to start all over again, and that means your initial burst of Starfall will be lost, and it's much harder to compete against things like Lightbringer or Wataru, which can one-shot things right away. I go for Dark Assassin Cross Aramis first, and I look for him. One annoying thing is the Starfall also hits his summon clones, so the damage will get distributed. Also, the clones will put you in hit stun, so your damage will stop since you're not able to auto-attack. So as a result, I really struggle with him in this run. Also, the poison also will kill you, so you have to watch your HP. Osiris does revive me, and I keep attacking. Then we double KO each other. This was definitely rougher than it should be, so how would you improve this? Here's a snippet from another run that I did, which was a lot smoother. You need to hit the Starfall quickly before the clones come out. That will let you better burst down this boss. Also, if you face other bosses that will summon monsters, I would recommend you hit Starfall as soon as possible so they don't end up tanking all that damage. Now, back to the original run. I revive back in town and go for my next target. Next, I want to get a Dumbla. There's a bit of a lag, so he appears out of nowhere. That's just a connection glitch. A bunch of my kicks don't register due to this lag. Once the Starfall hits, it bursts him down quite quickly. The Ruin Master that dominates this channel also shows up. I assume he's not very pleased. Next, I go for the Devil Squid. I take out his tentacles first, otherwise I can't hit it properly. It's nice to be able to charge up on these tentacles. The targeting is quite strange. I actually have to manually attack him, as when I've tried this in the past before, when I auto-attack, he actually won't be hit by me. I think this might be a bug with Taekwon. The Starfall does allow me to take down Devil Squid quite quickly. Next is Taekwon. Whenever I face him, it's quite tough, especially since it's a neutral type. I can't use Warm Wind to double damage him. He also hurts a bunch, so I constantly have to spam Honey. Once my HP dips, I die, and I don't have any revives left from Goro or Osiris, so I have to do the Revive of Shame back into town. Next, I come back for a rematch. He is a boss that I wouldn't do without a Saint. Soloing it is definitely very difficult. I switch to my Oberyn pet as another source of revive. It does take a while, but eventually I'll be able to take it down. Neutral bosses definitely cause a lot of grief for Taekwons, so I would keep that in mind. For a competitive channel, I would definitely skip this, because it takes too long to kill him. This is mostly to show you how much Taekwons can struggle with neutral creatures, so you should keep this in mind. Next, let's go for Catalanix. Sad life not having premium. I have to walk over to the Holy Ice Field. For these test accounts, we're not allowed to buy anything from the exchange, which means I can't even buy a premium. As I look for bosses, I do some kicks every now and then to charge it. I really hope they will fix this problem. I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but it's super frustrating to lose your lit up stars. I find him, and he goes down quite quickly. The star bursts are good once it's charged up for a bit. As you fly wing around, I definitely would recommend you do some kicks every now and then in an attempt to charge your stars. Next, let's go take down Archangeling. One thing I love about Taekwons is being able to use Warm Wind to convert to other types that you wouldn't be able to normally. For example, being able to convert to Dark or Holy is very useful, and you can't do this normally with your converters. As a result, you have a big edge over other classes, especially when you're going solo. I find Archangeling and it goes down quite quickly, although someone seemed to have poked it a bit first, but maybe ran away after. Next, I deal with Poi Tai. I use the Orc Hero card to deal with the annoying stun. No premium, so we gotta walk over there like a broke MVP hunter. Once I get in there, I use the Warm Wind to convert to water. I do some kicks as I search for it. I'm going to fast forward a bit here since it took me forever to find him. I do kicks periodically. I finally find him, and this time I cast Hatred of the Sun to do extra damage to it. It has a long cooldown, so I save it for high value targets. It goes down quite quickly, especially when Starfall happens. That finishes that MVP run. Now I want to discuss my recommendations for low board MVPs with snippets from another run I did. Here I show my skills. I put the Sun Burst and Full Moon Kick skill in my auto attack bar, and then I enable the Sun and Moon stance. These are the two most powerful skills that can one-shot bosses. You don't need to change anything else in your build besides setting these skills and the stance. These skills have better consistency to one-shot lower MVPs. Your auto attack damage will be quite low in comparison, and sometimes the consistency of having a kick proc is not very high, so this gives you some burst potential so you can compete with Watarus or Lightbringers. Here I kill Owl Baron with a 48.5 million burst. I also hit the Bloody Knight for 48.7 million damage. It's quite laggy, so the hit doesn't register right away. Next, what about APOC MVPs? Honestly, I find these very hard to solo. I definitely cannot handle the high-end APOCs. I can, however, take down ones like Catalanax and some lower-end bosses pretty easily. When they do the large AoE circles, it's hard to avoid those. You won't be able to run away fast enough, and if you run, you're giving up a lot of damage. Your Starfall might also hit other creatures around it. Usually I'll just attack right through it, and if I die, I rely on my anti-death foods to help me, or my Osiris or Goro. My conclusion is that Taekwon MVPing is quite good. I'm glad that it's a class that can solo MVPs. I think this class can be very competitive against things like Novice Guardian and Lightbringers. So I will predict this will show up quite a lot on the MVP board when this class is finally released to other servers. Are you looking forward to playing the Taekwon auto attack build? Let me know in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.